up first at 6, a new board at Bahamas Power and Light will be appointed in a matter of hours. The body of former Senator Talitha Strawn lying in state today. And former Deputy Prime Minister Cynthia Mother Pratt is the recipient of the 2018 Nelson Mandela Award.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6. This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Every Day.
Good evening, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis, and this is the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6. 7 persons, including an American and Jamaicans, are in custody in connection with a big drug bust in the Baintown area this afternoon. Police made the discovery sometime after 3 o'clock at the home on Meadow Street. Now, what we can tell you at this hour is that authorities found 18 Kroger sacks with suspected marijuana valued at $375,000 inside the house. As a result of that discovery, 4 females and 5 males were arrested. Be sure to tune in at 7 for more on this developing story. In news from the courts, 22-year-old Kelvin DeVoe of number 3 Wilson Track and 22-year-old Delando Fox of number 19 Lucaya Circle Marathon were charged with the stabbing death of Ernest Davis. The men appeared before Assistant Chief Magistrate Shubusala Swain. DeVoe and Fox were not required to enter a plea, and their matter was adjourned until October 10th, when they will be served with a voluntary bill of indictment. 23-year-old Omar Thompson Jr. of Gibbs Corner were also charged earlier this week in connection to that murder. In other court news, 22-year-old Fox Hill resident Jermaine Bethel was charged with the August 4th murder of Javon McDonald. Police say shortly before 5 a.m. they were called to Abner Street, Fox Hill, after gunshots were heard coming from that residence there. Officers discovered McDonald lying on the floor of his home with gunshot wounds to his body. Paramedics were called and were unable to revive him. McDonald was pronounced dead on the scene. Bethel was not required to enter a plea. He is scheduled to return to court on October 16th for a voluntary bill of indictment, sending the matter to the Supreme Court. New leadership for the Bahamas Power and Light Company to be revealed tomorrow. Minister responsible for Bahamas Power and Light, the Honorable Desmond Bannister, says the appointments of 5 of the 6 board members will be announced in a statement tomorrow. This comes after the former board was asked to submit their resignations this week. Minister Bannister indicated that the outgoing board may proudly point to a number of notable accomplishments during its tenure, but regrettably, they remained at loggerheads with respect to virtually every critical issue. Now, Bannister says this became costly to BPL as relationships within the board deteriorated. Calling the infrastructural needs at some schools desperate, Minister of Education, the Honorable Jeffrey Lloyd, says more than $400 million is needed to address those needs. But while he would like to have more funds allocated in the budget for school repairs, Mr. Lloyd assured that the Ministry of Education is doing its best to repair schools with its limited resources.
I can tell you that we need new schools. We need a new primary school in Georgetown, Exuma. We need a brand new secondary school in Exuma. We need a primary school in Gregorytown, Eleuthera. We are building a primary school in southwest New Providence. Government High needs to be replaced. C.I. Gibson needs to be replaced. L.W. Young needs to be replaced. R.M. Bailey needs to be replaced. You're looking at $400 or $500 million in infrastructural works that the country needs in its educational plan this minute.
Some pastors in the Over the Hill community are commending the government for its effort to empower and transform the lives of residents. Salem Union Baptist Church pastor Reverend Huter Roll is working closely with the Over the Hill initiative and says plans are in place to establish a free daycare in the community to help women with children.
The government is providing the space, and what we will be doing is finding the persons in many instances to help to facilitate that, of course, under the hand and the guidance of the government, who has to vet all persons who would want to be involved in the rearing or bringing up of children. It is a daycare that would facilitate the young women being able to go and find gainful employment. So it's not a daycare just where anyone can drop their kids off. It's particularized to our area for now, and it will be for those who will be finding employment. You have to show that you are employed in order for you to be able to drop your children off.
And are you prepared this hurricane season? Well, a major weather conference is underway right here in the capital. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6, your news leader.
You can count on me. Just call me and I'll come running. No matter the
I got into comedy from the day I was born, and I look up and I saw who my parents was. I know my life is gonna be interesting.
The Bahamian people inspire me, like 100%.
I think the keys of the success to the band Visage has been the ability to stay relevant for the many years that the band has been around.
Technology, it keeps me connected.
What technology have done for me is priceless.
I don't know how I would be able to survive without it.
If I would describe BTC into one word, I would say innovative.
Family all around.
Communications lifeblood of the Bahamas.
Get ready! Commonwealth Bank wants to make this your best summer ever. Get the loan you need at a special discount this summer only. Cash for your best vacation, best laughs, best memories. And want to know the best part? You could win a trip for 4. So don't wait. The discount ends soon. Talk to us today about your best summer ever loan. Approval is fast and easy. Conditions apply.
What would you do with your part of $50,000 in cash and prizes? Show your KFC bucket love and get a chance to win your part of $50,000 in cash and prizes. Display your bucket love sticker for a chance to win. You could be one of 10 gold ticket winners with a chance to win the $10,000 grand prize and get started on your bucket list. Stick it to win today. Bucket love. KFC Nassau. It's finger licking good.
This portion of the news brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, your leader in personal banking.
The body of former Senator Talita Strachan is lying in state today in the foyer of the Senate. Governor General Her Excellency J. Marguerite Pendling and Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis were among the dignitaries paying their respects and signing the Book of Condolence. Strachan's family, including her daughter, former Progressive Liberal Party Cabinet Minister Melanie Griffin, also viewed the body and was greeted by President of the Senate Kay Forbes Smith and Speaker of the House Holson Moultrie. Viewing for the general public will continue until 7 this evening. A state-recognized funeral for the former senator and former president of the Straw Vendors Association will be held tomorrow at Faith United Missionary Baptist Church at 11 a.m. It will be broadcasted right here on the ZNS Radio Network, 104.5 FM. Minister of the Gospel, author, and former Deputy Prime Minister Cynthia Mother Pratt making waves yet again on the international scene as she is set to have her life story penned in a lifestyle magazine called Alizé next month. Pratt, who is among the most influential women of all time, has been named a recipient of the 2018 Nelson Mandela Award. CEO and founder of the magazine based in New York and France, Alizé Uterin, who appeared on ZNS's talk show Darryl Miller Live, also dropped by our ZNS studios to share with us reasons why she decided to retrace the footsteps of Pratt's life's journey.
It's exposure, internet exposure for her, and actually want to have something very special about her, and also to put Bahamas in the map. we know we are very well known for the tourism, but to see like one of figure lager, so I think it's good, very excellent to show that to the world, to see like, it goes beyond the tourism. She's a very inspiring woman, and she's a leader, and I just think like, the world should know more about her, because of course I know she's very well known in Bahamas, but beyond of that, she needs to be seen for who she is and what she can contribute to the world.
Award recipient and former Deputy Prime Minister Cynthia Mother Pratt says although she would not be able to travel to South Africa to accept her award due to prior engagements in the United States, she said she is pleased to be recognized in this way.
Don't come here for sunshine and seal it on. They come here because of the way they're treated by the people. Once we're a loving people, Bahamians have always been a loving people. That's what keeps bringing people back here to our shores, because we know how to make them feel at home. We treat them with dignity and with respect. They will go and tell others, and they will bring their friends back to the Bahamas. It's all about us. And that's why I believe that my life would be one that would be told by others. Maybe not by telephone, but you have people will tell by word of mouth. And that's important, that we touch somebody as we pass this way, because we only pass this way once.
Hurricane preparedness should always be at the forefront, especially as we get closer to the peak of the Atlantic hurricane season. Today, Rev and Kayla Weather, the premier source for weather information in the region, partnered for a half-day conference focusing on hurricane preparedness and natural disasters. We talked to Cable Bahamas' Director of Sales, Shawnette Thompson, and NEMA official, Crystal Glinton.
Some of the speakers include Kayla Weather, who will talk to us about natural disasters in the region and how other countries and companies have repaired and restored themselves. We'll also have Brian Moody from RMS talking about insurance and the importance of having the right kind of coverage for your business to ensure that you can restore or replace any inventory that might be damaged, your furnishings, the building itself, and any other things that might be related to insurance and the importance thereof.
We want to ensure that everyone work together to get all the information out and to ensure that everyone is safe during these times. We're speaking about hurricanes, but also during this particular time we have to think of the heat that has been taking place quite a bit. NEMA deals with comprehensive disaster management, so we want to ensure that persons are hydrated, they stay indoors and keep as cool as possible.
Meanwhile, officials insist hurricane preparation should top everyone's list of priorities.
I'm very glad to be here as we're in hurricane season to discuss hurricane preparedness. As we learned last year, because it was such a severe season, this is critically important. And disseminating the information to the public in a timely manner is really our primary responsibility. And we take that responsibility very, very seriously.
Walk around your homes. Do a count of your windows, know how many you have, know the sizes of it. And as you plan for being prepared for a hurricane, figure out, okay, if a sheet of plywood costs $35, how many of them do I need to prepare so if I have to board up my home, it isn't a mad dash to get plywood. You could, from the beginning of the year, buy a sheet of plywood a week, and you could have enough to board up 15 to 20 windows in your home.
With a mission to spread love to others who are unable to manufacture it for themselves, Grace Community Church continues to break out of the church walls. The church, which is nestled in the Marathon community, has been making its rounds to various senior citizens' homes here on the island, hoping to honor their residents for their contributions and sacrifices. Last evening, residents of the Pat's Senior Citizens Home were served dinner and treated to a talent show. Charisma Robinson was there.
63-year-old Michael Lightborn nearly lost his life after an horrific car accident and was bedridden when he was welcomed into the care of Pat's Senior Citizen Home in Yellow Elder. Now, after a few months, Mr. Lightborn is walking again and is getting stronger each day thanks to the loving care he says he receives at the home.
And I was in Princess Margaret Hospital, and it was okay. They saved my life, but I was looking for another home to be a little better care of, and course, Miss Moxie and her home here was the best ever. It's just about feeling comfort, and that's what I wanted to have, that comfortability, and the nurses, Miss Moxie and everybody has given me that up until this day. And like I always keep saying, I want to get out of here, but being here, I'm so happy that I came here, and they've bent over backwards for me, and of course the other patients as well. Just a wonderful place to be.
Elder Cyril Pete of Grace Community Church says it's stories like Mr. Lightburn's that inspires them to continue to support any home that takes care of our precious pearls.
We want to be able to sensitize our own community at Grace that you will grow old one day as well, but let's learn how to take good care of our seniors and do as much as we can, even if we don't know who they are, find where they are.
Patricia Moxie, who has been managing the home for 9 years, says what Grace Community Church is doing in the community is a good thing, and she believes others should follow suit.
For people in the community, especially children, I'd love for them to just show love to their elders, their grandmothers, their great-grandmothers. And people are now living longer than before. And so there's a need for a home, there's a need for that special care, and there's a need to treat them with dignity. We have a lady here who's 104, going to be 105 years old. And just now I said to her, she said, "Why are you looking at me?" I said, "Because I love you." And she just smiled. So, all they want is someone to tell them they love them, they care for them, play in their hair, and just make them feel love. That's the bottom line. I love you.
Charisma Robinson, ZNS Network News.
Stay with us. Sports is up next. You're watching your news leader first at 6.
That portion of the news was brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, the leader in personal banking services.
What things do you value? Even if we value something, we can still lose or misplace it, like a credit card. You can freeze your Visa credit or debit card from CIBC First Caribbean in a flash to stop unauthorized use. CIBC First Caribbean, banking that fits your life.
When school ends, BTC summer vacation begins. That means freedom to switch it up and break a few rules.
Like a flying overseas and when she touch down, she not stop call me. And I nothing for me breed, girl. Me want no feud like a Bob Marley. Me fix them.
Freedom to mix and, of course, mingle. Freedom to go wild and take the fun to a whole new level. Join the BTC Summer Vacation for exclusive rewards, cool prizes, and more.
Okay.
BTC, the bigger, better network.
The Atlantic hurricane season runs from June 1st through November 30th, when a hurricane alert is issued for your area, which indicates the possibility that you could experience hurricane conditions within 60 hours. You should begin the initial stages of preparation for the storm. When the storm is 48 hours away, a hurricane watch is issued. Once a watch is issued, be sure to get updates from the Met Office via television and radio. Get your battery-powered radio ready. Keep your emergency supply kit, blankets, and sleeping bags handy, and your children and pets indoors. Be sure you have extra cash and that your car has a full tank of gas. Fill all prescriptions. A hurricane warning means that a storm with winds of 74 miles per hour or more is 36 hours away. At this point, secure all windows with shutters and plywood. Place your valuables and records in waterproof containers and store them on the highest floor of your home or in the safest area. This public service announcement has been brought to you by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas in conjunction with the National Emergency Management Agency.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. The Marshall Thundering Herd back on court last night at the Bahamas Basketball Federation's Summer of Thunder Series at the Kendall Isaacs Gym. As many of you would know, Marshall was one of the Cinderella teams in this year's NCAA tournament, but the Providence Storm gave them all they could handle in the first half, with Marshall leading by the slimmest of margins, 55-54. In the second half, turnovers proved to be costly for the home side, and after weathering the storm, Marshall turned to John Elmore, who finished up with 38 points. Marshall finishing up their tour 3-0 with a 112-98 victory.
I think the team just did a great job. We moved the ball. It was our third game in. Everybody's starting to mesh a little bit better each game. It's still August, so we're not in full gear, not in great shape yet, but I thought we played well and moved the ball.
They just had a little more chemistry than us. They knew how to score, where to score at, certain different spots that we didn't know how to rotate and help. Because they just have more chemistry that they're practicing. We just put this team together. So just about us just playing a lot more together here.
And while Marshall was able to take care of business on the court, they were able to enjoy their free time as well.
It was fun, man. Getting to know the Bahamian culture, playing against guys from down here, spending time with the team in the off season, getting to bond a little bit, hang out by the pool. It was definitely a great experience. I'm glad we did it. Sad that we couldn't have done it a couple years in a row, but one time was good.
The Atlantis Basketball League's Best of 3 championship tipping off last night at the Imperial Arena. After getting out to a fast start, the Water Park Predators struggled down the stretch, and the Cove Impalas took full advantage, winning in come-from-behind fashion 53-50. Game 2 is set for tonight. The Cove believes they can close it out, while Water Park expects to extend the series, but that won't be the only action on the court.
The coaches and managers game is always a lot of fun. Not necessarily the best display of athleticism, but it's always a good time. And then the All-Star game is the best of the best. Some of the best ballers in the entire Bahamas, they work here at Atlantis, and so that would be really good before Game 2 of our championship.
From the minor league baseball diamond yesterday, Deshaun Knowles 1 for 3, a run scored, helping Orem end a 5-game losing skid with a 7-4 win over Helena. Rashad Moreau 1 for 3, 2-run scored as Dayton blanked Todd Isaacs in Lake County 7-0. Todd going 0 for 3 in the loss. Anthony Seymour also hitless, going 0 for 1, a run scored, stole 2 bases in Jacksonville's 9-2 thumping of Pensacola. In the Arizona League, Orveo Saint 1 for 3 in RBI as the Brewers double up the Indians 4-2. Trent DeVoe went 1 for 3 in the Angels 4-3 win over the Giants. Meantime, in the Dominican League, Keith Ron Moss 1 for 4. The Rangers shutting out the Indians, a final there of 3-0. And back here at home, 2 games tonight in the Providence Softball Association. Up first, the Sunshine Auto Wildcats taking on the Johnson League Truckers. That's followed by men's play between the Chances Mighty Mitts and the Commando Security Truckers. And that is your first look at sports. Don't go anywhere. First at 6 is back after the break.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Be a part of the live studio audience for the Diamond Trivia Challenge. Family fun, audience prizes, see the live entertainment with featured singer Thin Ice. All happening this Friday, August 17th at the Courtyard Marriott. Be there. Tickets only $15, available at Airbrush Junkies, the Mall at Marathon.
I had an awesome time. Very good. It's a lot of fun.
It was funny, it was entertaining, it was really nice.
It was tremendous, and I felt as though I was in the States at one of those game trivia shows.
Yeah, and more Bahamians should come out and support this event because you're not only learning new things about the Bahamas, about the world as a matter of fact, but you're also donating to charities that are, needing help here in the Bahamas. So come on, it's only $15. What's $15?
Thank you.
No VAT.
Be a part of the live studio audience for the Diamond Trivia Challenge. See you there.
Everybody, I on TV. Look, I on TV. Mom, guess what it is? That's me. Bartender, do you see me? I on television. I gotta tell my girlfriend I on television.
Hello?
Babe, turn your television to ZNS.
Quick, I'm on television. I don't have a TV in there.
We have Wi-Fi though.
We have Wi-Fi.
That's fine. They upgrade now. You can watch it live from your phone.
You just have to download the app. All right, hold on. Go to the App Store, type in ZNS, download the app, and you'll be able to watch ZNS straight from your phone. Hurry up, before over there.
Get your news and more anytime, anywhere with the new ZNS app. Stay connected from around the globe with our live stream news updates, all in the palm of your hand. You can also listen to the ZNS Radio Network for your favorite music. Go into your Apple or Google Play Store and download the ZNS app today.
Miss I's a star now. I still gotta pay?
What you see and hear on this television station is governed by IRCA's Code of Practice for Content Regulation. The Code of Practice covers matters relating to program content that are of concern to the community, such as local content, news, current affairs, programs for children, advertising, including political advertisements, and the responsibilities associated with broadcasting in the Bahamas. The Code also covers aspects such as access services for the hearing and visually impaired, and the procedure for lodging a complaint about anything broadcast by this station. The code is available on the IRCA website at www.ircabahamas.bs. To receive a copy of the code by mail or in person, you may telephone IRCA at 242-393-0234. Family Island dialing is toll-free at 1-242-300-8722. Or you may send a request by email to info@ircabahamas.bs.
In regional news tonight, Prime Minister Andrew Holness says his government will be launching a commission shortly to examine and find solutions to violence in Jamaica. He made this announcement during the opening ceremony for the 49th Annual Caribbean Broadcasting Union on Monday. The Jamaican Prime Minister also implored the Jamaican media to be more responsible in how it promotes, projects, produces, and publicizes content that could support violence. In other regional news, a Swiss-based hotel group is continuing its expansion in the Caribbean with luxury developments, including the upcoming Cabritz Resort and Spa, Camp Insky Dominica, set to open in 2019. The luxurious island hideaway is surrounded by the Cabritz National Park and has been designed to preserve the natural balance between land and the sea, whilst ensuring a modern contemporary guest experience. And 16 men and women from around the Caribbean are now designated certified energy professionals, having participated in the regional Certified Energy Manager Training Program and successfully passed the CEM examination. The program was executed with assistance from various agencies, including the Caribbean Clean Energy Program and the Caribbean Development Bank. And that's regional news tonight.
Time now for weather.
In our first look at what a tropical storm Onister continues to hang in there, heading toward the northeast at about 18 miles per hour, maximum sustained winds just around 145 miles per hour. But this afternoon, we have our eyes on this very strong tropical wave well to the east of the Les Antilles. It's moving toward the west, and as you can see in our satellite picture, quite a bit of convectivity associated with that. That's some showers and thunderstorms that's becoming a little better organized. It has now about a 20% chance of development, so we'll keep our eyes on that over the next couple couple of days. But ahead of that, we do have some upper level sharing, so it could run into some hostile atmospheric condition as it continues to move toward the west. Outside of our studios, we have a few clouds, temperature 88 degrees, relative humidity at 61%. The winds are out of the southeast at 15 miles per hour. Your barometric pressure 1,018.4 millibars. That is 30.14 inches, and it is rising. That's going to do it for your first look at weather at 6. Stay tuned, more weather is still to come.
Thanks, Basil, and that does it for First at 6. It's time now for a check on stories making news around the northern Bahamas.
The Commonwealth Union discussing the way forward with members last evening. The city of Freeport getting some renovations. And ZNS Northern Service doing its part to assist in the back-to-school efforts.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Megan Shepard. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping news, the Commonwealth Union of Hotel Services and Allied Workers holding a meeting for members last evening at the Taxi Union Hall. Tonight, Sabrina Brown tells us that topping the agenda was the government's decision to purchase the Grand Lucayan Resort.
Scores of union members attending the meeting to hear more on the way forward as the government proceeds with plans to purchase the Grand Lucayan Resort. President Michelle Dorsett says the announcement by the nation's leader was good news for the Commonwealth Union.
I'm relieved. It was long years, very long years in Grand Bahama, 2004. You know, we was actually really in triumph. Draft straight through. But God is good, We have faith, we have courage, and that's what the meeting's about, faith and courage. And I'm just bringing my members up, which as you can see is a packed house. They are standing firm, standing united to listen to what how to be delivered. And they are very, very happy.
Dorsett says although many believe the government should not get back into the hotel business, she applauds the Minis administration for taking this bold step to keep hundreds of Grand Bahamians employed.
They don't want to be involved in the hotel field, which we know that, but this is no other choice right now for the best interest of the country. Bahama needs something. It's a beautiful resort, and we just need the right set of people to run the resort.
The members were brought up to date on various matters, but the main concern was the payment of benefits once the property is sold.
It's their benefits. We negotiated their benefits. And we have to educate our members on benefits, and their benefits will be given to them. Whatever is owed to them will be given to them, and their rights will not be taken away. Whatever is owed to them, they'll be paid. But I just want to be patient, as always, because I'm a patient person.
The asking price for the beachfront property is $65 million. The government has allocated some funds for the Grand Lucayan deal in the recent budget. The government plans to acquire the hotel property using a mortgage purchase agreement and will continue to look for a buyer. Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
An executive of one of the country's largest unions is also weighing in on the government's decision to purchase the Grand Lucayan Resort. Area Vice President of the Bahamas Union of Teachers, Quinton LaRota, says that he's been in discussions with other union leaders on the matter. And although he does not think a government should run hotels, in this instance, he believes it is necessary.
We're at the point where we feel that the workers and the Bahamian economy needs a certain amount of relief desperately, and that the government should do what it can, even if it's a short-term plan, to try to get that hotel open. I feel that tourism has been our number one industry forever. We have a lot of experts in the tourism field and the hotel management field, so we have to be able. No one can convince me that we don't have Bahamians that are capable of managing a hotel, even if it's a group of board or directors or managers that are away from the political scene, because political influence is one of the reasons why some of these hotels weren't the success that they were.
He says the labor movement has another concern about the high fees at the island's ports of entry.
The port fees and the docking fees are far too high. And so if the government is to go and invest this money into the hotel, we still need a reduction in those fees to encourage carriers to bring the tourists here. Because there's make no sense to spend that money invest in the hotel and you don't address the issue of airlifts and lifts coming by cruise ships into Grand Bahama. And what needs to happen, in our view, is a reduction of those fees. We need to become more friendly to the airlines and to the cruise ships so that they can come in and bring the tourists. We look at Nassau, where indeed you go to Nassau, 5 to 7 to 9 ships in the harbor. And sometimes you in Grand Bahama, which is a city, you have a day with no ships.
Now, the Grand Bahama Port Authority conducting road works throughout the city of Freeport, all in an effort to maintain the beauty of the city and make the daily commute much smoother for residents. Tonight, an executive of the GBPA is highlighting the key areas that will be transformed in the upcoming months. You may have noticed improved roads throughout some communities in the city of Freeport recently. Deputy Director and City Manager at the Grand Bahama Port Authority, Troy McIntosh, says that they are continually carrying out projects to improve the city.
We do get complaints from time to time, but what we do is be proactive in the process where we go out and we do assessments of all of our roads in Freeport, so we know which ones are worse, which ones are falling apart, and which ones we need to immediately pay attention to. And so on an annual basis, we do inspections for all of our infrastructure, and a lot of them are then scheduled on an annual basis to be repaired, because obviously for financial reasons we can't do them all at the same time.
So far, Luna Boulevard has been completed, and Bahama Reef Boulevard is expected to be completed by Friday, August 17th. McIntosh says that there are still more areas to be addressed.
From here, we're going to be doing West Mall, between Adventures and Ponciana Drive. After that, we have Fishing Hole Road, which we've gotten a lot of complaints, but we have to leave that for last because there's a lot of coordination with that. We got to get the police involved. We're going to be doing some work for the traffic lights in that intersection, and then we also had to coordinate with the water company. And so we wanted to leave that for the last to do before our fiscal budget ends.
The industrial sector will also be a part of the beautification project.
So Queenside, we're going to extend the verge by 2 feet. We know that cars sometimes pull over. We're going to then put in 5 laybys, we call them bus stops. We can accommodate between 2 and 3 vehicles for emergency cases. But in the event that you're not by one of those laybys, you can still pull off the road. And at the same time, for tourists and other persons visiting the island, the area looks maintained and looks upkeep, like it's being upkept by the Port Authority and our responsibility. And so you'll see that, you'll see sable palms, you'll see a nice manicured verge area once it's seeded and the seed germinates. And so those things we thought were necessary. This is for the north side. And then in the future, we'll look at the south side of the road as well.
McIntosh is admonishing residents to exercise caution as they traverse areas undergoing construction.
While we're working, the necessary signs out for persons to drive with due care and attention and to slow down. You have workers in the area. We want to make sure persons understand what's going on. Obey the flagman, which will direct you to safe passage through the work area. And again, we're doing it for the improvement of the drivers and obviously the environment and the community.
He adds that additional projects are in the works, including more lighting in high traffic areas. Schools in the Freeport area, the focus of the second leg of the Minister of Education's tour of Grand Bahama schools yesterday. Italia Hall has the details.
The Minister of Education, the Honorable Jeffrey Lloyd, visited 2 schools in Freeport during part 2 of the tour. He confirmed that this year there is no shortage of teachers in the northern Bahamas. He says at the Walter Parker Primary School, there are some structural concerns that will be addressed immediately.
We will have issues with regard to beams and columns. Not so much the columns, but certainly the beams. And we've got to do some major structural adjustments and improvements so that we arrest the decline in safety standards here at the schools. I have been assured by the contractor and the engineers that the environment of the repairs will be secured so that the children's attendance here at school will not be interfered with or interrupted in any way.
But he says Freeport Primary is in a better situation.
I'm very impressed with the work Mr. Ritchie is doing. He himself has taken the initiative in continuing the maintenance of his institution. That is very commendable, and I'm very happy and proud of that. The concerns that we have there is that there's an opportunity, I believe, for us to be able to expand that school by way of offering preschool education to approximately 20 students. And we want to kind of get on that work as soon as school commences. So as you know, that school sits a little bit on top of a hill, and there's a slope that goes down toward the bathroom and other classroom areas. We are going to have to install a drain system because the water settles, and that poses a safety challenge for the students. That will be addressed.
He says across the country there are small repair issues like plumbing, electrical, and roofing matters that are common. Government schools on the island like St. George's High School, Jack Hayward High School, and Sister Mary Patricia Junior High School do not have any major challenges. But the minister admits that the way school repairs are handled in the public school system is not working.
It's not going to work. We have to have a year-round school maintenance program. And I'm talking about a formalized program. Some of the principals are taking it on their own as an initiative. I'm not talking about that. I commend them for that. I am very grateful, and I'm proud of them. What I'm talking about is providing a formalized school maintenance program year-round so that those minor incidences that occur, as they will occur throughout the school year, can be addressed as they occur. And the major works, such as the beams or the columns, can be done during the summertime.
The Minister of Education says he will be back on Grand Bahama soon to speak with the teachers from the various schools to share the vision of the ministry. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Italia Hall.
Thanks, Italia. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Stay with us. There's more news right after this break.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Dolly Madison, Freeport's original home center.
It's time to come on down. Now to the plant nursery at Dolly Madison. They're loaded with indoor and outdoor plants, fruit trees, landscaping plants, flowering plants, herbs, and more at the plant nursery at Dolly Madison. And if you need advice, the friendly, courteous staff at Dolly Madison is there to assist. And don't forget to pick up your soil, fertilizers, and other accessories. Don't wait. Come on down. Now.
It's back to school and back to school savings at Bellevue Business Depot. For all of your back to school and teacher supplies, they have it all at an extra 20% off retail price. Crayons, glue, markers, crayon pencils, backpack, character bags, meat notebooks, and teacher supplies for the classroom, and much, much more. Don't forget to take advantage of the backpack bundles for preschool, primary school, and high school, loaded with all the supplies you need for back to school. Teachers get your first 8-foot butcher fadeless paper free when you purchase a minimum of 10 feet, as well as additional discounts at the Coffee Center. All at Bellevue Business Depot, located on Queens Highway.
Journey to a serene oasis. Relax. Rejuvenate.
Stay informed on your local weather forecast this 2018 hurricane season. Your #1 news station, the ZNS Television Network. We've got you covered. Covering the Northern Bahamas, you're watching the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. The Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas Northern Service doing its part once again to assist the Grand Bahama community with back-to-school preparations. 8:10 a.m. The Light took to the streets this week with the annual back-to-school book drive at various locations. Attaining a successful school year was one of the topics discussed. Itinerant guidance counselor with the Ministry of Education, Georgette Thompson, had some key points for parents ahead of the new school year.
Make sure they have all their school supplies, all their tools necessary to survive. Then let's get a routine going. You know, school is now opening this week now, ensuing should be where we begin our early bedtimes and making sure we have a routine going, breakfast, lunch, dinner. So, and that's important. Children love routine, they love structure. We talked about the affirmation, getting to know them, encouraging them, depositing positive information into them, letting them know that they can do it, and then set the standard. You can do this, I expect this from you.
Guidance counselor Carlene Davis Williams says it's important for parents to build a rapport with their child's teacher.
One of the things that I would encourage the parent to do, get to know your teachers ahead of time. So as soon as school is open, get to know who your teachers are, who the teachers are of the child, so you can build that relationship with the child throughout the school year. If you're having problems understanding the work that the child is bringing home, at least you have that communication line that's open with the teacher already. You are able to go in and speak with the teacher, to ask the teacher's assistance to find out, how do I help my child with this particular assignment.
The Point Ministry of Life Community Church gearing up to host their 3rd annual youth conference under the theme, The Making of Kings and Queens. This year, the conference will have a unique twist as millennials will be able to hear from international social media influencers during their 2-day watch party. Senior Pastor Cedric Beckles says the ministry is geared towards creating an environment for young people to have their real-life questions answered by people with more life experience and wisdom.
The whole purpose of this ministry is simply to create that environment to assist our young adults into making that transition from dependency to independence in a controlled, concerned, coached environment, to where we could hopefully produce healthy young adults into adults mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and socially.
Ministry leader Alexandria Beckles says the activities kick off on Friday, August 17th on board the Adventurer. The weekend wraps up on Sunday with a praise and worship service at Life Community Church.
When I watch the video sessions live on board, so it's a different experience. It wouldn't be inside, it'll be outside. We'll have mix and mingle games. We'll also have a concession stand available, and we would wrap up the night with some prizes and some giveaways. And then Saturday morning, which is August 18th, we will start with breakfast, which starts at 8 a.m. Now, the ending part of Saturday is where the expert panel comes in. And what we wanted to do was, the organizers and some of the members at the Point, we wanted to provide an environment where we can ask questions that we just don't know the answers to. We're kind of curious about the questions and the answers, but we wanted it in an environment where we won't be judged for the questions, and we won't kind of get a side eye, but we'll get the truth.
And now it is time to Ask the Doctor.
Hi and welcome. Today I will wrap up the discussion on heat stroke, a serious health risk during the summer months. As you know, anyone can develop a heat stroke, but some persons are at greater risk of suffering from this dangerous condition. Some factors that can increase your risk include age. The very young and the very old are most vulnerable. Exertion in hot weather, like playing sports or doing manual labor, can greatly increase the risk of heat stroke as well. Other factors such as sudden exposure to hot weather, certain medical conditions, for example, heart or lung disease, a lack of air conditioning, some medications like those used to control blood pressure might also increase your risk. If any of these risk factors I mentioned apply to you, take all the precautions you can to avoid heat stroke, including finding an area to cool off for a few hours, like a public library, shopping mall, or a movie theater. Drink plenty of water to stay hydrated, and avoid exerting yourself in the heat. I'm Dr. Monique Pratt, and this has been Ask the Doctor.
We carry everything basically in sporting goods. We have caps, we have tennis equipments, we have baseball equipments, from mitts to helmets to shoes. We have basketball rims. We have basically everything you think about sport, you find it at Playtime Sports. Every back to school, we always have a special sale. We run that sale from the first week in August until the end of the first week in September when kids go back to school. And we always offer 20% off on all school supplies like shoes and backpacks. We got approval for duty-free footwear and apparel. And we are passing the savings to the customer. So we dropped all our prices on all the Nike shoes, the Jordan, every footwear we have, we dropped the prices up to 15%, making it more affordable to shop at home this year. We're across from Alamar. It's the Playtime Sports Building. Our phone number is 351-6935, and you can find us on Facebook, Playtime Sports, Freeport, FPO.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Freeport Jewelers in Port Lucaya. Fashion starts here.
This month alone, I reduced my power bill by over $300 by purchasing a solar system from Northern Bahamas Utility Company. My power bill is now $16. Can you believe it?
Here's another reason why owning a solar system from Northern Bahamas Utilities is right for you. Stop by today at number 8 Oak Street or call us at 225-0766 extension 106 and ask about our in-house financing or lease-to-own options. See you today.
Dr. Love, you look worried today.
Belinda, you know I have 2 more rooms to complete. Now, if I've been from 7 to 12%, how in the world are I supposed to do this?
Here at Island Bedding, we know things have been pretty thin for the past few years.
You think?
15 years, Island Bedding has been keeping Bahamian shopping at home by providing quality products at affordable prices.
Belinda, Island Bedding prices is good. It is really, really good. Your price is going to increase also to 12%. Just saying. Just saying, Belinda.
Nah, Dr. Love, look here. Seeing is believing. With the upcoming change in VAT to 12%, we have adjusted too to keep our products affordable. And we did it too.
Now listen here, Island Bedding have done it again, kicking up a whole notch.
Now you know you're getting value for your dollar.
Visit our showroom today on Queens Highway.
Hi, I'm Wes. I'd like to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I would like to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Let us put shoes on your feet.
Business owners are excited about ZNS Northern Service Storm Central Hurricane packages because advertising rates are discounted up to 50%. That's right, get 50% off advertising packages this hurricane season from now through November 30th. Call our sales department at 351-3430 or 352-9713 and book your advertising package today.
Good evening all, welcome to Sports. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Topping sports this evening, governance, infrastructure, business change and compliance digital, better known as GIBC, made its mark back in May with its grand opening June 27. The company has now expanded its reach into the sports community by sponsoring a young swimmer making big waves in the Bahamas. 9-year-old Noah Knowles began swimming in kindergarten. Noah competed in last year's nationals and was ranked 3rd in the nation, securing his spot at the Goodwill Swim Meet taking place in Barbados August 17th through 19th. Knowles' parents say he works hard and they're extremely proud of his accomplishment.
This is the first time he's ever doing international competition. He's very excited. We are very excited. And we would actually like to thank GIBC Digital for sponsoring Noah, because it was them. I know that they're right now getting their name out there, and I think it's a good thing that they did this.
These swimmers swim 6 days a week, 2 hours a day.
He started at the YMCA, and now we swim with Grand Bahama Tritons, which is now at the YMCA. And it's a big deal. It's a big deal for a 9-year-old to make an international competition.
Business Support Manager at GIBC Digital, Bernard Cooper, says that Noah Knowles is the first brand ambassador for GIBC, and they are more than happy to partner with the Knowles family. He says he's excited about what the future holds for Noah.
I actually witnessed a race with Noah when he was in National, and so it was very exciting, very thrilling. So I'm like, okay, how is it that we could be a part of something that great? You know, watching him going neck and neck with another youth, it was like the competition is real.
Now Noah received a bag of goodies courtesy of GIBC. He'll be swimming in the 50-meter freestyle, 100-meter freestyle, 200-meter freestyle, and a few others. He says he's ready to compete.
I expect for me to do my best and hopefully get better times from the ones that I got in nationals.
Small on the outside but big in the pool, Noah's little brother Nateo Knowles also competed in last year's nationals and is one to keep your eyes on. Following in big brother's footsteps, little Nateo offers advice to swimmers.
Every sport, it could be a sunny day and you still have a sport, and it's going to be outside. But then swimming, you could be in the water, so you could be cool. And I can go into Goodwill next year. And I'm trying to beat my times in nationals. That's all I have.
Another young Bahamian basketball player starting a new journey on the courts. Jay Philippe has the report.
Former Sunland Stinger Howard Burroughs is headed to prep school in Orlando, Florida to pursue his basketball playing career. Howard received an athletic scholarship to attend Inspired Prep Academy, where he will compete in 30 to 40 games for the school's basketball program. Howard reflected on his time growing up in Marsh Harbor, Abaco, that ultimately opened doors of opportunities where he's now in position to start a new chapter in his basketball career.
Well, I started off very late. I started at age 14. So coming there, it's been hard, trying to get better, but like I said, thank you for my coaches for believing in me, teaching me what they can.
Howard talked about the things that changed his life since he started to attend school at Grand Bahama. He said that he would have never dreamt one day that he would ever be presented with an opportunity, and he's grateful for this opportunity.
Just got to believe in themselves, Go hard every time you get the court, because someone looking at you. There's always an opportunity when you hit the court. Someone's going to be looking at you.
Howard begins his transition at his new school August 27, where he will hopefully leave a legacy of his own. I'm Jay Philippe, ZNS Total Sports.
And that's your check on sports. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Until next time, make it a great one.
Is brought to you by Steppin' Out. Satisfy your style habits with shoes for every occasion. Steppin' Out, when you want to put your best foot forward.
Tired of the endless bank fees and long lines? The Grand Bahama Cooperative Credit Union is the solution to making your money work for you by providing you with free financial counseling, higher interest on savings plans, and lower interest rates on loans. Savings products such as Christmas and vacation clubs, fixed deposits, and annuity savings allow our members to prepare for today and tomorrow without all of the hassle. Join satisfied Bahamians who left their banking frustrations behind. Open an account with GBCCU 352-4139.
More Makeup by Megan Coakley. When you want to look like a star. Phone 443-7979.
You can win big with Pizza Hut's Big Dinner Box Summer Deal. Not only will you get 2 delicious medium one-topping pizzas, 5 breadsticks, and juicy wings, and a refreshing 2-liter Coke, you get to enter to win a fabulous 7-day Caribbean cruise for 2 with Gateway Travel on Carnival Cruise Lines.
Mom and Dad used it, and we got money.
Pizza Hut's Big Dinner Box Summer Deal can make you a winner. Other prizes also available. Win big.
The Ministry. KMW Battery and Tire Sales is offering oil change special for just $49.99 plus VAT. Includes oil and filter. KMW is located on West Settlers Way.
And that's going to do it for us here in the North, but be sure to stay tuned as the Bahamas Tonight continues. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Megan Shepard. Have a wonderful evening.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the National Report. The government prepares to name a new BPL board. A major drug bust here in the capital. Charges filed in connection with the death of a man shot and killed in his home. And the prestigious award the former Deputy Prime Minister is about to receive. The Bahamas tonight, the National Report starts now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Every Day.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Keishla Adderley, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. We begin tonight with some developing news. The police force making a major drug bust here in the capital earlier this afternoon. Police seized the drugs worth more than $300,000 in a home on Augusta Street, arresting seven people of three nationalities. Here's Giandre Williamson.
75 pounds of marijuana shortly after 3 p.m. at a home on Meadow Street in the heart of the Baintown community. The drugs has a street value of $375,000.
On searching the residence, 18 crocus bags filled with suspected marijuana was found in that residence. 7 persons arrested, 4 females and 3 males. In that, there are 2 Jamaican males and 1 female, and a U.S. resident, a female, and the remainder are Bahamians, which is 2 Bahamian males, adults, and a female Bahamian adult.
This drug bust is the result of the excellent work of the Royal Bahamas Police Force. Assistant Commissioner responsible for crime, Clayton Fernanda, says police will continue its presence in crime hotspot areas like Baintown.
And we want to encourage members of the public that if you see any suspicious movements within your community, please reach out to the police. And you can see this is what is playing out today. Then this what we said fueled these shootings and murders.
Bain and Grandstown Member of Parliament Travis Robinson is sending a clear message to residents involved in this criminal activity to stop because it's destroying the reputation of the community.
This is a high concern for me as a Member of Parliament, specifically because of the hundreds, the thousands of young people that live in this constituency and who are trafficking through these shortcuts on a daily basis. We know that it will never be an easy task trying to eradicate this type of criminal activity.
Investigations continue and police say several other individuals will be arrested in connection with this matter. For ZNS Network News, I'm DeAndre Williamson.
Now to news from the courts. 22-year-old Kelvin DeVoe of number 3 Wilson Tract and 22-year-old Delando Fox of number 19 Lucaya Circle Marathon were charged with the August 4th murder of Ernest Davis in the magistrate's court today. However, according to police, the incident happened on July 28th at Potterski Dock. The men were not required to enter pleas, and their matter was adjourned to October 10th when they'll be served with voluntary bill of indictment papers. 23-year-old Omar Thompson Jr. of Gibbs Corner was also charged earlier this week in connection with this murder. 22-year-old Fox Hill resident Jermaine Bethel arraigned before Assistant Chief Magistrate Subasola Swain with the August 4th murder of Javon McDonald. Police say shortly before 5 a.m. they were called to Abner Street, Fox Hill, after gunshots were heard coming from a residence. Officers discovered McDonald lying on the floor of his home with gunshot wounds to the body. Emergency personnel were called in, however, they were unable to revive him. McDonald was pronounced dead at the scene. Bethel was not required to enter a plea and is scheduled back in court October 16th for voluntary bill of indictment papers to be served. A new Bahamas Power and Light Company board is expected to be announced tomorrow. Minister responsible for Bahamas Power and Light, Works Minister the Honorable Desmond Bannister, confirming to our news team this afternoon that the appointments of 5 of 6 board members will be announced in a statement tomorrow. Minister Bannister indicated that the outgoing board may proudly point to a number of notable accomplishments during their tenure. Regrettably, he says, in recent times, the former board remained locked in regard to making a decision on virtually every critical issue. This became costly to BPL. Moreover, as relationships within the board deteriorated, 3 members offered their resignations. This is a developing story, and ZNS News will continue to bring details as they become available. Free National Movement Chairman Carl Culmer lashing out at the opposition Progressive Liberal Party for what he calls their latest grandstanding and obstruction of the FNM steps to lift the Grand Bahama economy. This after the government's announcement that it will purchase the Grand Lucayan Hotel in Freeport. The FNM chairman says the government is taking steps to lift every corner of the island and is working feverishly to make sure no one is left behind. He said hundreds of people are employed at or as a direct result of the Grand Lucayan, and Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis is working to ensure a real solution so that those workers can keep their jobs. Well, it's an issue that seems to rear its head nearing the start of each school year. The claim that migrant children are being denied access to education. Well, Minister of Education, the Honorable Jeffrey Lloyd, emphatically states that that is not the position of the ministry and challenges anyone faced with that situation to bring it to his attention.
If you know of a single instance where a child has been denied admission to a public school, and there is no justifiable reason for that denial, bring it to the Ministry of Education's attention. Please, I need to know the full and complete name of the child's date of birth, the school where that permission was denied, and who at the school may have denied such a permission. Bring it to our attention. But for you to continue to say in the media, oh, children are being denied access to the Bahamian educational system, and you are not giving me some evidence that this is so, I think it's unfair.
Minister Lloyd also gave his preliminary assessments on the national examinations.
We are pouring through them to take a look and see exactly how our students did this year. And of course, the media will be advised. I expect a press conference sometime very early next week. From what it appears, and this is only a cursory, superficial evaluation of those results, it appears as if there's been a slight improvement in the performance of our students, which of course makes us very happy. A slight improvement. There are some schools, some districts who have done exceedingly well, and we're extremely happy about that.
Well, still ahead tonight, some parts of Fox Hill getting a makeover. And the country prepares to say farewell to a former senator. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, your news leader.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Shell, fueling journeys that matter, summer promotion.
This is the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. This is Commonwealth Bank. And no matter how, no matter where, no matter what, Commonwealth Bank is here for you. Commonwealth Bank. Everything we do it for you.
You can count on me. Just call me and I'll come.
My first memory of music would have been a performance when everyone was singing the song. The song was drop down and come up slow, and everyone in the crowd was singing. I was amazed. I was in shock.
I did not always want to be a performer, I actually wanted to be a doctor. And when I was on my way to med school, I had this whole epiphany, and I went to Berklee College of Music, and that's when I made the switch.
If I weren't singing, I'd be singing. I love track and field.
Many different things inspire me. It isn't anything specific. It's just, just enjoying the environment. And that's what I think music should be about, being free. tap of a button, I'm able to get in contact with persons all the way across the world. Technology acts as that bridge that keeps me connected.
BTC in one word, I would have to say clutch.
Connected. Family.
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 Every day, every day.
What would you do with your part of $50,000 in cash and prizes? Show your KFC bucket love and get a chance to win your part of $50,000 in cash and prizes. Display your bucket love sticker for a chance to win. You could be one of 10 gold ticket winners with a chance to win the $10,000 grand prize and get started on your bucket list. Stick it to win today. Bucket love. KFC Nassau. It's finger licking good.
There's nothing as powerful as knowing where you belong. No more waiting. It's time to come home. Come home to friendly smiles. Come home to convenience. Come home to more interest on savings and lower fees. Come home to our bank and your bank. Come home to Bank of the Bahamas, your bank of solutions.
This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Well, Fox Hill residents are ensuring that their environment remains clean. From its planning stage straight down to the cleanup, organizers of the annual Fox Hill Festival are calling the historic event a major success, which provided the community and vendors with a good economic injection. On Tuesday, the community celebrated the festival's 30th anniversary in a grand way.
The pop-up market was a big help too, because in addition to the pop-up market coming to Fox Hill, we added a variation to it. We had the Fox Hill vendors participate in that, and they all made money, and they were happy. And so we had happiness, like we all had a happy pill. We were, so we were pleased, and patrons were pleased. Are there some things to work on? Yes, because we want this to be bigger and even better next year.
When our news team visited the parade grounds on Tuesday, workers were wrapping up the cleanup process. Fox Hill MP Ferguson and committee head Maurice Tynes were pleased with the exercise.
Snoring. I was snoring. We were in La La Land because it was so much hard work. But when we got here this morning and did our checks, my Lord, yes, everybody came through for us.
Maybe I could, before I left, I spoke with the supervisor, Beaches and Park, who that department came through for us
in a big way.
Big way. He told me that he's going to bring a crew to start cleaning up about 3 o'clock, and I told him that was excellent, because when people are on their way to work, I want the place to be cleaned, and they really came through in flying colors for us.
Former Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of the Gospel, and author Cynthia Mother Pratt making waves yet again on the international scene as she's set to have her life story penned in a lifestyle magazine called Alizé next month. Pratt, who has been named one of the most influential women of all time, will be the recipient of the 2018 Nelson Mandela Award. CEO and founder of the New York and France-based magazine Alizé Uterine, who appeared on ZNS Radio Daryl Miller Live today, shared why she decided to retrace the footsteps of Pratt's life.
It's exposure, internet exposure for her, and actually want to have something very special about her, and also to put Bahamas in the map. We know we are very well known for the tourism, but to see like one of her figure legger, so I think it's good, very excellent to show that to the world, to see it goes beyond the tourism. She's a very inspiring woman, and she's a leader, and I just think the world should know more about her, because of course I know she's very well known in Bahamas, but beyond of that, she needs to be seen for who she is and what she can contribute to the world.
Now, Mother Pratt says although she would not be able to travel to South Africa to accept her award due to prior engagements in the United States, she is honored to be recognized in this way.
Don't come here for sunshine and sail on. They come here because of the way they're treated by the people. Once we're a loving people, Bahamians have always been a loving people. That's what keeps bringing people back here to our shores, because we know how to make them feel at home. We treat them with dignity and with respect. They will go and tell others, and they will bring their friends back to the Bahamas. It's all about us. And that's why I believe that my life would be one that would be told by others. Maybe not by telephone, but you have people will tell by word of mouth. And that's important, that we touch somebody as we pass this way, because we only pass this way once.
The body of former Progressive Liberal Party Senator Talater Strawn lay in state today in the foyer of the Senate. Governor General Her Excellency Dame Marguerite Pindling and Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis were among the dignitaries paying their respects and signing the Book of Condolence. Strawn's family, including her daughter, former Progressive Liberal Party Cabinet Minister Melanie Griffin, also viewed the body and was greeted by the President of the Senate, Kay Forbes Smith, and Speaker of the House of Assembly, Howson Moutry. A state-recognized funeral for the former senator and former president of the Straw Vendors Association will be held at 11 o'clock tomorrow at Faith United Missionary Baptist Church. The service will be aired live on the Bahamas Radio Network. Well, there are also some road closures that will take place as a result of the former PLP senator's state-recognized funeral. United Christian Way will be closed starting at 10 a.m. until the end of the funeral service. Now, traffic traveling south along Soldier Road toward Woodlawn Gardens Cemetery will also be blocked until the time of the procession and will be diverted west onto Yamato Drive. Motorists traveling north on Soldier Road are encouraged to continue traveling east on Prince Charles Drive or west onto Robinson Road until the procession has reached the gravesite. The morning party, along with a motorcade, will travel north on Blue Hill Road to Independence Drive, east on Independence Drive to East-West Highway along to Robinson Road, east on Robinson Road to Soldier Road, where at the junction of Robinson and Soldier Roads a procession will take place. The procession will then travel north along Soldier Road and conclude at Woodlawn Cemetery. Parking will be permitted only on the church property of Faith United Christian Way. Executives of the Ministry of Tourism and staff extending sincere condolences to the family of former Director General of Tourism, the late David L. Johnson. Tourism executives detailed in a statement today that Mr. Johnson's long career in the tourism industry began 45 years ago when he, along with 6 other Bahamians, were identified as management trainees for Bahamas tourist offices abroad. He was regarded as a tourism pioneer who had a deep understanding of how the tourism machinery worked. He elevated to the post of General Manager of the Americas, responsible for all tourism offices in North America, and then returned home to become Managing Director of Bahamas Air. Johnson joined the Grand Bahama Islands Promotion Board in 1996 and returned to New Providence in 2004 as the Deputy Director General in charge of business and product development. He then served as Director General of Tourism between 2010 and 2014. Ministry of Tourism officials say the tourism industry of the Bahamas has lost a consummate tourism professional and business leader.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
This is your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm Altaviz Munnings. The Association of International Banks and Trust Companies here in the Bahamas ended a busy year in the international financial services sector with its annual general meeting last month. Minister of Finance, Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable Peter Turnquist, delivered the keynote address at that meeting. Bruno Roberts of the Private Trust Corporation Limited and Ivan Hooper of Winter Botham Trust Company Limited will continue to serve as co-chairs of the AIBT for another 2-year term, along with directors Jan Mezalunak of Pictet Bank and Trust, who will serve as deputy chairman, and Jean-Marc Fillet of Gonne Bank and Trust, who will serve as treasurer. Over the past year, AIBT has continued its commitment to the growth and development of the financial services sector through ongoing professional development, industry collaborations, and constructive engagement with regulators and policymakers. In other business news, as offshore jurisdictions grapple with increasing compliance regulations, the newly installed executive team of the Bahamas Association of Compliance Officers is seeking to foster regional unity designed to make the Bahamas and the Caribbean more market-ready in the search for new business opportunities. Attorney Cheryl Bizarre assumed the 2-year presidency of the organization last month and noted that regional cohesion and assisting the financial services sector in ensuring that business and products are produced resiliently, as well as meeting international standards, must be the first order of business. And in international business news, online sales at Walmart soared 40% in the last 3 months, helping to boost overall sales there at $128 billion. Walmart shares jumped 10% today ahead of the opening of the New York stock market. Walmart's United Kingdom subsidiary, Asda, which is merging with Sainsbury's, reported a 0.4% rise in like-for-like sales. That's your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm Altaviz Munnings.
As there are a number of Bahamas tourism offices around the world, there's lots of opportunities for young people at the Bahamas Ministry of Tourism and Aviation to work abroad. So was the case for Phileas Shivers and Adrian Kemp, who recently joined the ministry's dynamic sales and marketing team in Plantation, Florida.
I'm actually really excited because it's a new opportunity and a great one at that, not only to gain exposure, but also to just understand a different aspect of the tourism brand. So I'm really excited about that.
Kemp says he's most excited about the networking opportunity this move will present.
It's a great experience. It's a great feeling, getting to meet different people, being able to tell them more about the Bahamas, what more things we have to offer, a lot of exciting things, and just getting people to understand it's just more than just beautiful beaches.
Shivers and Kemp both transferred from the airport reception services at the Lynden Pinling International Airport. Now that they are a part of the sales team, they will travel to many destinations to promote the islands of the Bahamas. I'm Candia Smith, and this is Tourism Today.
I tell you, this heat ain't playing. Every day hotter than the last. Even the weekly specials at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets continue to heat up with great prices like Hill's Biscuits, 150-gram pack, 99 cents. Fresh pork shoulders, $1.39 per pound. Lay's chips, 1-ounce bag, 2 for 99 cents. Gatorade drinks, 64-ounce bottle, $2.99. Sweet watermelons, $4.99 each. Watley Bologna, 12-ounce size, 2 for $3. Hot savings only at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Free, reliable, anytime, anywhere, and instant. That's the benefits of using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Pay bills, check account balances, transfer funds, and more. Enjoy the freedom of banking on your own terms. Why wait in line? Save time. Do your banking using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean to find out more.
Welcome back. As we enter the peak of the 2018 Atlantic hurricane season, preparation is crucial. Now, Rev Bahamas and the Cala Weather, the premier source for weather information in this region, held a half-day conference today at the Bahama Resort on hurricane preparedness and natural disasters. The list of speakers included Cala's president, Tony Mackard, Cable Bahamas Director of Sales, Sharnette Thompson. They said the event is timely.
Some of the speakers include Cala Weather, who will talk to us about natural disasters in the region and how other countries and companies have repaired and restored themselves. We'll also have Brian Moody from RMS talking about insurance and the importance of having the right kind of coverage for your business to ensure that you can restore or replace any inventory that might be damaged, your furnishings, the building itself, and any other things that might be related to insurance and the importance thereof.
We want to ensure that everyone work together to get all the information out and to ensure that everyone is safe during these times. We're speaking about hurricanes, but also during this particular time we have to think of the heat that has been taking place quite a bit. NEMA deals with comprehensive disaster management, so we want to ensure that persons are hydrated, they stay indoors and keep as cool as possible.
Well, several speakers addressing the event insisted that hurricane preparation should top everyone's list of priorities this summer.
I'm very glad to be here as we're in hurricane season to discuss hurricane preparedness. As we learned last year, because it was such a severe season, this is critically important. And disseminating the information to the public in a timely manner is really our primary responsibility. And we take that responsibility very, very seriously.
Walk around your homes, do a count of your windows, know how many you have, know the sizes of it. And as you plan for being prepared for a hurricane, figure out, okay, if a sheet of plywood costs $35, how many of them do I need to prepare so if I have to board up my home, it isn't a mad dash to get plywood. You could, from the beginning of the year, buy a sheet of plywood a week, and you could have enough to board up 15 to 20 windows in your home.
With a mission to spread love to others who may be unable to manufacture it for themselves, Grace Community Church continues to break out of the church's walls. Nestled within the Marathon community, Grace Community has been making its rounds to the various senior citizens' homes to honor the elderly for their contributions and sacrifices. Charisma Robinson reports on the church's latest initiative.
63-year-old Michael Lightbourne nearly lost his life after an horrific car accident and was bedridden when he was welcomed into the care of Pat's Senior Citizen Home in Yellow Elder. Now, after a few months, Mr. Lightbourne is walking again and is getting stronger each day thanks to the loving care he says he receives at the home.
And I was in Princess Margaret Hospital, and it was okay. They saved my life, but I was looking for another home to be a little better care of, and of course, Miss Moxie and her home here was the best ever. And it's just about feeling comfort, and that's what I wanted to have, that comfortability, and the nurses, Miss Moxie, and everybody has given me that up until this day. And like I always keep saying, you know, I want to get out of here, but being here, I'm so happy that I came here, and they've bent over backwards for me, and of course the other patients as well. But I just a wonderful place to be.
Elder Cyril Pete of Grace Community Church says it's stories like Mr. Lightbourne's that inspires them to continue to support any home that takes care of our precious pearls.
We want to be able to sensitize our own community at Grace that you will grow old one day as well, but let's learn how to take good care of our seniors and do as much as we can, even if we don't know who they are, find where they are.
Patricia Moxie, who has been managing the home for 9 years, says what Grace Community Church is doing in the community is a good thing, and she believes others should follow suit.
For people in the community, especially children, I'd love for them to just show love to their elders, their grandmothers, their great-grandmothers. And you know, people are now living longer than before. And so there's a need for a home, there's a need for that special care, and there's a need to treat them with dignity. We have a lady here who's 104, going to be 105 years old. And just now I said to her, she said, "Why are you looking at me?" I said, "Because I love you." And she just smiled. So, you know, all they want is someone to tell them they love them, they care for them, play in their hair, and just make them feel love. That's the bottom line. I love you.
Charisma Robinson, ZNS Network News.
Well, stay tuned. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. We'll be back right after this break.
Move forward, Bahamas, and build high into the sky. Move upward and colorize those new walls. Move onward and build a garden to last a lifetime. Move together and settle into that new home. There's a lot of places you can do it for yourself, but there's one place to do it right. Builders Mall. We know exactly what motto you live by, and even the pros know building is just a part of what we do. So move forward, Bahamas. And remember, you can find it all at Builders Mall.
Introducing the Subway Simple 6 menu. 6 of our best 6-inch subs, now and made just for you meals for just $7.50 every day. Take your pick from our best subs, like the Italian BMT, tender turkey breast, sweet onion chicken teriyaki, and more. Pile them high with all of your favorite veggies, made just the way you say, with a 21-ounce drink and a bag of chips. The new Simple 6 menu is value made simple every day. Yeah, you so got it made. Subway, eat fresh.
We've all got plans for our golden years. Unfortunately for many, this may just be wishful thinking. To generate an annual income in retirement of $70,000 for 20 years at a rate of return of 5%, with inflation running at 3%, requires more than $1.1 million. So how do you save that much money? Many companies provide a group pension plan to help their employees by deducting an amount each month from their pay to contribute to the plan. Personal Pension Plan, or PPP, is similar to a group plan, but offered only to individuals. These plans offer many of the same benefits and features. Contact us for more information on pensions.
If you've lost your visa, call the law office of Donat Russell Love PL. My full-service immigration firm can help you if you've been denied a visa due to deportation or removal, prior conviction or arrest while in the U.S., working without work authorization, or visa overstay. I may be able to help you get your visa privileges restored. Call my office today at 954-449-1833 or visit us at drusselllove.com.
There's a lot to like about Solomon's. The quality of our stores, the quality of our products, and of course, the savings. You'll find thousands of items every time you shop at everyday low prices on a wide variety of trusted brands. So you can save money almost everywhere that you look, giving you one more reason to like us. Shop Solomon's for everyday low prices.
By Chef Boyardee and Libby's Vienna sausages, and you could win $2,000 for a family vacation or other great prizes for back to school. Enter at Pritchard's on Robinson Road today. Promotion ends August 31st.
Shell is taking you on an exciting journey with its summer promotion. Now through September 14th, enter for your chance to win a brand new 2018 Toyota Yaris. Just make a minimum purchase of $20 worth of fuel from any Shell service station in Nassau. Answer the skill question on the entry form and submit. The grand prize will be drawn on September 14th. Other weekly prizes include free fuel vouchers and VIP packages to see Jay-Z and Beyonce live in concert August 31st at the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. For more info, visit their Facebook page at Sunoil Bahamas.
All right, it's time now for your first check of weather and not another hot day on the outside. Basil, what did it feel like today?
Well, it was a pretty decent day today. The heat index only got up to 99 degrees. And right now we're going to take a look at temperatures around the Family of Islands. And they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 86 in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Greenville, Keenabaco, also Marsh, Ababaco at 86. 85 in the Berry Islands and Allenstown, Bimini. 84 in Harbour Island. Roxanne, Eleuthera, 85. Allenstown, Cat Island, 84. 85 in Stanley Key in the Exuma. Camp Space St. Andrews and Fresh Creek Central Andrews all at 85 degrees. 84 in San Salvador and Rum Key. Georgetown, Exuma, 83 degrees. 84 in Clarencetown, Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, Megona, Acklands, and Ragged Island. Matthewtown, Inago, 85, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 83 degrees. Your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Center. In the Northwestern Islands tonight through Friday, east to southeast winds are forecast. The speeds are going to be 12 to 18 knots. The wave height 3 to 5 feet with just a moderate chop in place. High tide, that will take place at 11:59 tonight with the low tide at 6:18 tomorrow morning. And for the central and southeastern islands through Friday, east to southeast winds 15 to 20 knots, and that means boaters should exercise caution right into Friday. Wave heights choppy at 4 to 7 feet over the ocean. And then on Saturday in the Northwest and Central Islands, the winds start to come down quite nicely to reasonable boating levels. Southeast flow at 10 to 15 knots, wave heights 2 to 4 feet. The low tide will take place at 7:12 in the morning, high tide at 1:37 in the afternoon for the Southeast Bahamas on Saturday. Winds also reducing 12 to 18 knots out of the southeast, the wave height subsiding 3 to 6 feet over the ocean. And that's going to do it for your boating forecast. It is time now for your trial forecast, and your trial forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. that's going to do it for your travel forecast brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is coming up in about 25 minutes.
Welcome to Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. Prevent burns by preventing fires and other accidents that cause burns in your home. Fires and burns often happen unexpectedly. However, you can take precautions to help prevent them. Not all burns happen because of fires. Household chemicals, scalding water, and household appliances can also cause burns. Here are some fire and burn prevention safety tips for your home. Put smoke alarms in your home. Check them monthly. If they run on batteries, put in new batteries every 6 months. Think about how you would get out of your home in a fire emergency. Make a family escape plan and have regular fire drills at home. Designate a meeting place outside your home in case there's a fire. Have a professional electrician check the wiring in your home at least once every 10 years. Learn how and when to use a fire extinguisher. Keep one or more in your home. If there's a fire in your home, your family should stick to your family escape plan, get to your meeting place as fast as you can, stay low to the ground, crawl if you have to, smoke and heat rise. It'll be easier to breathe closer to the floor. Many more people die from poisonous gases caused by house fires than from burns. Check closed doors by touching them with the back of your hand. If the door is hot, don't open it. It means the fire is nearby. If it is cool, open it slowly and peek out. Close doors to separate yourself from the fire and smoke. If you or your clothes catch fire, stop, drop, and roll your body on the ground. Be prepared and know what to do if a fire or accident causes burns in your home. This has been Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. Live your best life by living well.
Looking to upgrade your refrigerator stove or purchase an affordable home generator? We've got the perfect solution for you. Alma's Welding and Fire is the best choice for the lowest prices in town. We carry top-of-the-line outdoor barbecue grills, air conditioners, refrigerators, stoves, generators, industrial hardware, and garden supplies with a wide assortment of tools and accessories. Open Monday through Saturday. Telephone 394-0004. BWF, we're more than just our name.
Life happens, and when it does, FG Insurance Agents and Brokers is here. We help you protect the assets you've worked hard to attain. We offer home, auto, marine, commercial, and liability insurance. Don't hesitate to protect what matters with FG Insurance Agents and Brokers. Visit us and speak to your agent today, or call us at 396-1490 in Nassau or 688-1500 in Freeport.
Your life is in the moment and on the go. And your credit card? It's right there with you. Turn on mobile location confirmation for your Visa credit card from CIBC First Caribbean and reduce the likelihood of declined transactions when you travel. CIBC First Caribbean. Banking that fits your life.
No matter what your goals are in life, you have to start somewhere. It all begins with Leno. Leno, bridging possibilities. Call us at 396-3225 or email info@lenobahamas.com.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. Our men's national volleyball team returning home with a silver medal from the Kazova Championships in Suriname. The Bahamas was the oldest squad in the 5-team field, and according to a couple of former national team players, Novato Demerit and Arison Wilson, that has its advantages and disadvantages.
That says a lot, in terms of how the development programs are going for the other teams, or whether they have just decided to scrap their senior players and move on to the younger players. I mean, we have no choice but to do the same thing in terms of pushing our younger players forward. But the guys are still holding their own. The talent is still there, so I'm not by no means saying to push them out. I mean, but I'm just saying we need to do a better job in terms of, like I said, getting the talent in the gym, going out there and expanding on whatever it is that we're doing.
Right now, they have a little challenges going up against newer players, coming up against them. So it's been a little rough for them and all that. But the experience lies into the players who are playing right now. You got Ronaldo, you got Byron, you got Prince, who could lead the team, who've been playing in the CVC for a couple years.
We tend to focus on 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds. We need to go at the 13, 14-year-olds, even younger. And I'm sure we'll see better results.
Now, while our men may have been the oldest team in the tournament, there was still some youth mixed in.
Eugene, I see Kyle, you have Devon. I mean, they're wonderful. They're coming up and they should carry volleyball to the next future.
It's good that you got younger players who coming up. Seeing that Eugene is on the team, he's a new breed to the team. Kyle, Donovan Mitchell from the Intruders, they all are new breeds coming up, and hoping that we need more players like them, younger players coming up into the program to get these national team players to where they need to be.
The Bahamas Powerlifting Federation's championships just over a month away, and there's a new name you have to look out for.
We had powerlifters who have never bench pressed 700 pounds, 800 pounds, squat 8, 9, almost 1,000 pounds. You're going to see that for this 21st century powerlifting. It's coming from the barbarian himself, George Clark.
I come in to devour all my opponents, respectfully, but I come in to get them.
Division I college basketball teams still making their way here to the 242. Amajal Knowles has an update.
More action from Summer of Thunder last night, and those who showed up to the gym certainly were treated to a delight as local squad Providence Storm, coached by Kevin KJ Johnson, took on one of the Cinderellas from last year's NCAA tournament, the Marshall Thundering Herd. Now, the first half was certainly entertaining as the Storm managed to take an early lead after 2 quarters, 55-54, but Marshall weathered the storm, capitalizing on some key turnovers, and then the fourth quarter was the John Elmore show as the senior guard showed why he's one of the top-ranked guards in college basketball and a legit NBA prospect, going on a scoring flurry and finishing the game with 38 points.
The team just did a great job. We moved the ball. It was our third game in. Everybody's starting to mesh a little bit better each game. It's still August, so we're not in full gear, not in great shape yet, but I thought we played well and moved the ball.
Elmore adding that he definitely has been enjoying his Bahamian experience.
Getting to know the Bahamian culture, playing against guys from down here, spending time with the team in the off season, getting to bond a little bit, hang out by the pool. It was definitely a great experience. I'm glad we did it. Sad that we couldn't have done it a couple years in a row, but one time was good.
Elmore not alone, as his grandparents Jerry and Sharon Benston also have been loving the Bahamian hospitality.
It's been great. Everybody has been just gone out of their way to make it pleasant.
What about the games? Have you been enjoying the tournament so far?
I've enjoyed it very much. We hadn't missed the game yet.
It's been great. We hate to leave tomorrow, but we look forward to going to many games in Charleston.
Marshall fan David Hagley saying he is doing double duty, enjoying the games and his anniversary.
Love the Bahamas. It's our first time down here, and we tied it into a wedding anniversary so we could come watch Marshall play. So it's been a blast.
The Storm, despite coming up on the losing end, did give a valiant effort. Mark St. Fort on what went wrong.
They created a little space because they just had a little more chemistry than us. They knew how to score, where to score at, certain different spots that we didn't know how to rotate and help. Because they just had more chemistry at the practicing. We just put this team together. So just about us just playing a lot more together here.
St. Fort also had a big game, dropping 33 in the loss. Here's on what he said was working for him.
I was just knocking out shots today, hitting my open shots, taking my good looks, and the ball was just going in for me.
Play continues tonight at the Kendall G. Isaacs Gymnasium. For Zenest Old Sports, I'm Amajal Knowles.
The Atlantis Basketball League's Best of 3 championship tipping off last night at the Imperial Arena. After getting out to a fast start, the Water Park Predators struggled down the stretch, and the Cove and Palos took full advantage, winning in come-from-behind fashion 53-50.
We started off a little slow. We weren't the energy wasn't there from the team. We had to really had to make a serious gut check when we saw we were down about almost 10 points in the third quarter. And so we just had to fight from deep within and then pull it out at the end.
I made a mental decision that I should have not made in the fourth quarter, beginning part. So I kind of took responsibility for it, and my team lost a little bit of composure.
One of our guys, Trevor, off the bench, he came off the bench and he hit 2 big 3-pointers, and he made 2 very important layups in traffic. Those were the plays of the game for us.
I tried to give the guys some rest, and that's where the breakdown came down. But I tried to fix it, but it was a little bit too late.
They played awesome. That's great coaching. A gritty fighting teams. It remind me like some of the old school players. They really fought us straight through to the end.
Our defense is on key. One of the guys that is very hard to stop is LJ. And we did a good job on him today. We even got him to follow. I give praises to my little point guard. Did an awesome job. He played his heart out tonight. I think I ran him a little hard, but he did a good job, and I'm proud of him.
It was a close game. It went all the way to the very end. I know the guys are happy because in the past we just had 1 game championship, and so now we have a 3-game series. So I think the Predators will come out tomorrow and put up a good fight.
Tomorrow is now tonight, and both teams are confident. The Cove believes they can close it out, while Water Park expects to extend the series.
I think what we have to do is don't let the small players escalate too much. The guys they got a mismatch against us at the bottom part of the fourth quarter. What ended up happening, they pulled out the big guy, and when we dropped down in the key with the smaller guy, they had a guy who was bigger than them, and he overpowered them. That was the problem. I can fix that. I already make that adjustment, and that's not going to happen again.
We have to stay disciplined, come out from the start with the energy and focus, and play as a team, and we should be okay.
This is not going over by a long shot. Tomorrow, we're going to take that one, and we're going to take the one on Friday, too.
A viral video making the rounds, and this time around, Shacking a Fool is taking center stage right here in the 242. NBA Hall of Fame center Shaquille O'Neal using some unconventional means of transportation. Shaq can be seen here in a video making the rounds through the Capitol on a bicycle. Shaq was spotted on Mackey Street and Paradise Island. While we don't know where he was headed to, he is no stranger to the Bahamas. This summer, he actually appeared as a special guest DJ at the Bahama Resort. O'Neal currently works as an analyst for TNT. And that will do it for sports. Stay tuned. The Bahamas Tonight comes back after the break.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Robin Hood flour is bigger and better. When you bake with Robin Hood, you're baking with the best. And you get more for your money. Next time you shop at the food store, stop and compare. Robin Hood flour gives you more for your money. Go with the flour that's bigger and better. Robin Hood flour. Find it at your favorite food store.
Life is better with Rubis Rewards. Just fuel up and swipe for your chance to win free fuel, cash back in our stores, restaurant and store discounts from our partners, plus prizes and surprises. It doesn't get better than this. Your Rubis Reward tag is free at every Rubis service station in New Providence. Get yours today. Rubis, it's just better.
The Atlantic hurricane season runs from June 1st through November 30th, when a hurricane alert is issued for your area, which indicates the possibility that you could experience hurricane conditions within 60 hours. You should begin the initial stages of preparation for the storm. When the storm is 48 hours away, a hurricane watch is issued. Once a watch is issued, be sure to get updates from the Met Office via television and radio. Get your battery-powered radio ready. Keep your emergency supply kit, blankets and sleeping bags handy, and your children and pets indoors. Be sure you have extra cash and that your car has a full tank of gas. Fill all prescriptions. A hurricane warning means that a storm with winds of 74 miles per hour or more is 36 hours away. At this point, secure all windows with shutters and plywood. Place your valuables and records in waterproof containers and store them on the highest floor of your home or in the safest area. This public service announcement has been brought to you by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas in conjunction with the National Emergency Management Agency.
We'll be with you through new beginnings and sunset endings, through toil and many tears, through the joys and many fears. For all of life's ever-changing moments, trust J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers for all of your insurance needs. J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, giving you peace of mind.
When a hurricane watch or warning has been issued, it's extremely important to be prepared and know just what to do. Stay informed about the storm's path by listening to the radio or television for hurricane progress reports. Check emergency food and household supplies. Be sure you have extra batteries for your flashlights and radios. Bring in outdoor things like lawn furniture and garden tools. Anchor objects that cannot be brought inside. Secure buildings by closing and boarding up windows. Remove outside antennas and satellite dishes. Turn refrigerators and freezers to the coldest settings. Open only when absolutely necessary and close quickly. Purchase ice and store it in an ice chest. Keep drinking water in clean jugs and bottles. Clean your bathtub with bleach and fill it with water for washing and flushing, not for drinking, making sure to keep the bathroom door closed so small children cannot access the filled tub. Do not go out to videotape or take photos of the storm. Stay inside and take those pictures from where it's safe and dry. There's no harm in being overly cautious where a hurricane is concerned. It is truly better to be safe than sorry. This public service announcement has been brought to you by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas in conjunction with the National Emergency Management Agency.
Clean clothes for the family, uniforms for the baby, suit for mommy and daddy. We want you to press to clean the suit. If you wanna look fly and you wanna look clean, if you wanna look fresh, better than all the rest. Bring all your church clothes and all your work clothes. Bring all your children clothes. Super wash.
Adrian Gibson. Now the Bahamas residents can fly or cruise free to the Family Islands. What are your summer vacation plans?
I'm gonna go to Long Island, and you should come too.
And there's no better time than now with the 2-Fly or Cruise Free promotion, where all residents of the Bahamas can fly or cruise free to the Family Islands from Nassau. Let's go. Refresh, reconnect, and unwind in the Family Islands. For details, go to bahamasresidents.com and fly or cruise free to the Family Islands today.
The Atlantic hurricane season runs from June 1st through November 30th, when a hurricane alert is issued for your area, which indicates the possibility that you could experience hurricane conditions within 60 hours. You should begin the initial stages of preparation for the storm. When the storm is 48 hours away, a hurricane watch is issued. Once a watch is issued, be sure to get updates from the Met Office via television and radio. Get your battery-powered radio ready. Keep your emergency supply kit, blankets and sleeping bags handy, and your children and pets indoors. Be sure you have extra cash and that your car has a full tank of gas. Fill all prescriptions. A hurricane warning means that a storm with winds of 74 miles per hour or more is 36 hours away. At this point, secure all windows with shutters and plywood. Place your valuables and records in waterproof containers and store them on the highest floor of your home or in the safest area. This public service announcement has been brought to you by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas in conjunction with the National Emergency Management Agency.
Be a part of the live studio audience for the Diamond Trivia Challenge. Family fun, audience prizes, to see the live entertainment with featured singer Thin Ice. All happening this Friday, August 17th at the Courtyard Marriott. Be there. Tickets only $15, available at Airbrush Junkies, the mall at Marathon.
I had an awesome time. Very good. It was a lot of fun. It was funny, it was entertaining, it was really nice.
It was tremendous, and I felt as though I was in the States at one of those game trivia shows.
Yeah, and more Bahamians should come out and support this event because you're not only learning new things about the Bahamas, about the world as a matter of fact, but you're also donating to charities that are, needing help here in the Bahamas. So come on, it's only $15. What's $15?
Thank you.
No bad.
Be a part of the live studio audience for the Diamond Trivia Challenge. See you there.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, we have some activity in the tropics. So first of all, we have our tropical storm Ernesto, which is packing winds of 45 miles per hour. No threat to us here in the Bahamas. It's moving quite rapidly toward the northeast at about 18 miles per hour. We expect it to even increase that forward speed over the next day or so as it moves over the cooler waters. And once it gets over those cool waters, we expect Ernesto to just waste away. And then there's this very strong tropical wave. It's about 700 miles to the east of the Los Angeles, moving towards the west quite nicely, around 15 miles per hour, and it has about a 20% chance of developing over the next couple of days. So we'll keep our eyes on this tropical wave as it makes that trek towards the west. Taking a look at our satellite picture, you can see quite a bit of showers and thunderstorms associated with that tropical wave, and it's heading, as we said, towards the Los Angeles. Barbados would perhaps be one of the first islands in that chain to start experiencing some heavy rain. So whether it develops or not, certainly heavy rainfall will be a major factor in the Leeward Islands as that system moves along that way. But we also have some sharing that is taking place in the upper levels just to the west of that. So even if it does develop later on down, it will run into some hostile atmospheric conditions, which should keep development at bay. Tonight, we're going in for partly cloudy and warm conditions, the low temperature getting down to 79 degrees, and tomorrow, mostly sunny and hot again with some brief morning showers very possible. Your high temperature tomorrow about 89 degrees. The heat index with the winds picking up going to be just around 99, maybe 100 degrees tomorrow. And the extended weather forecast over the next 7 days, taking us through the weekend, a couple of showers in the forecast, but they will be brief into Saturday and things drying out quite nicely on Sunday. And as we head into the early part of next week, lots of sunshine in the forecast, but by the middle part of next week, we have another tropical wave that will be moving through the Bahamas. That will bring with it some cloudiness and some more showers. So it seems as though those tropical waves are starting to pick up in terms of frequency. The only difficulty they encounter in this is the strong upper level winds, which are keeping the lid on development. But that is always good news for us. But nevertheless, this is that time of year when those tropical waves start to pick up.
We'll keep an eye on them. Thanks a lot, Basil. Well, that does it for us in the Bahamas tonight. On behalf of the entire news team, thanks so much for looking in. Have a good night.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.